Vijnanamaya kosha is the next layer. See, Annamaya kosha is grosser, Pranamaya kosha is subtler, the subtler pervades the grosser, Manomaya kosha is subtler, it pervades the both Annamaya kosha and Pranamaya kosha. Right? Vijnanamaya kosha is the intellect. And intellect and five sense organs, they are also connected. Okay. The five sense organs are connected to Manomaya kosha, five sense organs are connected to Vijnanamaya kosha, also intellect. Whereas organs of actions are connected to Pranamaya kosha. Buddhi, there's no place, one place Buddhi is there. It's pervading throughout the Annamaya kosha, Pranamaya kosha, Manomaya kosha. What does it do? Intellect is thinking, right? Ignorance is also thought. I don't know myself. Okay? How ignorance can be removed? Only through jnana. There's no other way. No, I want to experience myself. Already you are experiencing yourself as permanent reality. All that you can stop doing is superimposing impermanent on the permanent. Mixing up the non-self on the self. Annamaya kosha, Pranamaya kosha, Manomaya kosha, you are superimposing. And by superimposing what you are doing, making what is temporary as permanent, appear as though permanent. The body is not at all permanent. But you think you are the body. Body is constantly changing. The prana is constantly changing. The functions of the prana are changing. The mind is constantly changing. Emotions come, emotions go. And why are you catching hold of one emotion called suffering? And say, I am suffering. Because you are mixing with I. I never suffers. The permanent and impermanent you are mixing up. How can you do that? When you accept that suffering comes and goes, then it's fine. But I am suffering, the moment you are saying I am suffering, because you are mixing with the I, which is never changing. So in the process, you are creating suffering for you throughout your life. You have to decide whether you want to come out of suffering, then learn how to separate I from the suffering. If you say I is suffering, I am suffering, then you will never be able to come out of that. Then how do you do the suffering, this thing? It's only through intellect, buddhi. There's no other way. You have to logically understand what is changing, what is not changing. There is suffering, some period of no suffering, some period of happiness. These are coming and going. But I doesn't change. That knowledge is called jnana. And where that knowledge happens? In intellect only, buddhi only. So buddhi only says, dehatma buddhi means, buddhi says atma is body. The same buddhi understands atma is myself, which is unchanging reality. I am sat chit ananda. I am existence consciousness bliss is understood in buddhi only. So you people coming and keep coming and saying to me, I have intellectual knowledge, I don't have experience. You have experience. Don't you have the experience of I? That unchanging reality. You are mixing up that I constantly with the changing reality. And how to separate that out is through buddhi. That's buddhi is called intellect, and separation method is called viveka and vairagya. If you don't separate yourself from the so-called suffering, then your suffering is permanent. Why do you want to be in the problem? This is my problem. Problems you are taking on yourself. I has no problem. And that understanding has to come through buddhi. What is changing? What is unchanging? Emotions are changing. Body is changing. I am the unchanging. So the instrument, buddhi is the highest instrument of discrimination which is given to you. Use it properly. So buddhi is the one which takes identity. I am tall. Okay, it speaks of I am tall, I am short. All these thoughts are arising in buddhi. And thoughts arise out of ignorance because I don't know my Atma, the unchanging reality. In that case, why? Yes, But once you understand your Atma, if you keep on repeating ad infinitum, I am tall, I am young, I am happy, I am unhappy, superimposing everything on yourself, then you are making a mess out of your life. Use your buddhi to find out what is changing, what is unchanging. The changing reality is not me. Unchanging reality is I. Then what will happen? Your mind will become calm. Otherwise, everything in life you start taking as something is happening to you. Is that distinction clear? The intellect is the decision making. So what is the difference between the functioning of the mind, manas and intellect? So manas says, okay, I want to eat food. There's a hunger, which is pranamaya kosha, there's hunger. The pranamaya kosha, there's hunger arises because pranamaya kosha functioning. So the mind says, okay, I want to eat food. Okay, which food I should eat? Okay, should I go to this hotel or that hotel? I should cook. So doubt questions are there. That the intellect will come and decide, yes, let us go. Let us eat go to this hotel. The intellect makes a decision. Okay, this intellect also takes the identity. Intellect takes the identity. I am a thinker. I am an experiencer. I am happy. I am so and so. All the identities are taken by the intellect. But that is nothing to do with the Atma, because Atma is the consciousness witnessing all these things. You are that Atma, you are that self. Why are you mixing up intellect with the self? So when you mix up the intellect with self, you say, I know this subject. Because intellect is knowledge. Intellect is knowing and decision making. The self is a knowing principle, not knower. So what are the functions of the intellect? Intellect is deciding what is right and what is wrong. Okay? What is real and what is unreal, only intellect is able to tell. You saw a mirage, there's water in the mirage. No, that's not water. So your intellect will tell you. Okay, sun is rising in the east and setting in the west. No, earth is going around the sun. Who tells? Intellect. So the intellectual understanding corrects the wrong understanding in the intellect. The abilities of the intellect are the questioning, okay, creating, discovering something new, visualization, imagination, observation, conclusion, okay. All these are ability of the intellect. So when I see something, the mind takes that perception, sense perception, to the intellect. Intellect is the boss. Then based on that, intellect will take a decision. How does the intellect take a decision? With the help of the memory. Okay. So intellect is the decision maker. Are you the intellect? How do you say that? So you say, I am thinking. Right? I am thinking. Who is thinking? The intellect is the instrument of thinking. Okay. You are mixing up I with the intellect. Who is mixing up that? You means who? The ego. Because ego is the ownership. Ego takes the ownership of the intellect. I am thinking, it says, whereas I belongs to consciousness, which is unchanging. I am belongs to existence. There is a unreal entity called ego is coming and taking possession of the decision making. And how do you get rid of this person? How do you get rid of this wrong understanding? Only through right understanding, knowledge. So don't mix up the unreal with the real. The moment you mix up the unreal with the real, permanent with the impermanent, you go through a lot of stress in life. Emotions are not permanent. Suffering is not permanent. I, which is there, which is real you, is free from all of this. It's always eternally peaceful. So the Annamaya Kosha, the Pranamaya Kosha, Manomaya Kosha, Vijnanamaya Kosha, together These three together is called subtle body, Sukshma Sharira. Last I told you about subtle body. These three together are called subtle body.
Even Annamaya Kosha.
No, Annamaya Kosha is Sthula Sharira.